motivation stronger. So this is the time of transformation, this quarantine, because we have to ask to ourselves to stay alone and to what I can do with my energy, with my time, with my body, what I love, what I want to continue to do after. And for instance, after this quarantine, here, and this is my sensation, and I try to do this in my life. Became very important the question of the meeting in the work too, in the research too. For which motivation to meet? And for instance, is the research of the party, and for which motivation, which situation to meet, for why. And this can be like a transformation of the research in the performative way and in our life too at the same time. If this is how to spend our energy, our love. About the death, I don't know the death. I know that in my life, as in the life of the people, there is some sort of death. When, for instance, the love finished is a sort of death, because a part of our imagine, of our experience finished. It's very painful. So what we love, I think that this quarantine for me, the question is what we love, what I can do, what I like.
Hi, Marco. I'm Vinay Sharma. I'm a theatre director and actor here in Calcutta. My question was, during the course of your exploration with Rena, did the Gaia theory also form a part of it? The Gaia theory. Was that ever spoken of?
The time about Rena, I don't understand the question.
Did you ever discuss the Gaia theory, Gaia, the Gaia theory, at that time with her?
What is it, the Gaia theory?
The Gaia theory, which talks about all living beings and inorganic things on Earth being connected to form a self-regulating mechanism. Was this ever discussed? Because this was also very much a part of the 1970s, which is why I'm very interested in knowing if it was ever discussed.
With Rena about the connection with the environment and the nature. This is
the inorganic and the organic together forming a self-determining complex organism in itself, where everything that has life and no life on the Earth, apparently, we think it has no life, that it is all connected and self-regulates. Was this ever discussed?
I didn't speak about this directly with Rena, so I can speak about what is my experience now. That when we work on the organic process, so now when I speak about the organic process, I speak that we are in the rhythm. In ta, 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 there is a rhythm, there is impulse, vital impulse. And technically we work on the rhythm. So the dynamic.
Right.
So there is a moment, I don't know why, that the body starts to remember something. And some of these is in connection with the nature. And for instance, the rain, the cicadas, the sun, in some moment, the night. I don't know why. And when we start to work or to do something, we speak before about Kundalini, energy of Mother Earth, and we are walking to Mother Earth every time. Every time we do something, and our action has some reaction. As when we work with a partner in a relationship, we do something, and there is, like in the song, we sing, and there is answer, and I don't, in English I forget this, that I say, oh, and you, hey, na na, ta-ra. This is the relation, organic. We are in process of relation. The relation is organic. with the rhythm. And to feel that, for instance, in another way, more for maybe imagination, we are only one shape inside other shape. If we think ourselves like on the table, and there is a book, and there is the cup, and there is the glass, we are maybe one of these things. We are not the only one. So we are the shape of human, the shape of the tree, the shape of the mountain, the shape of the stone. For me, this was very strong in Arunachala, Ramana Maharishi. The connection with the art in this imagine, this light. So
which in any case is where quantum explorations have led us. I mean, that is what quantum physics also tells you, that there is no difference in that case between the table and the tree and the human being.
There is a difference
in essence.
I don't have this knowledge. I feel that I am a part of something when I'm walking and I try to do research with the tree, or now when I do research in the passage, the question is about communion. So that how to share, how to feel you and me at the same time, not only me.
When you say communion, do you see that as a coming together of things and an intermingling, or do you see it as a touching, like a tangent and going off? How do you experience it in your experience of the word love? Is it coming together, touching, moving, or is it coming together, touching, and becoming one? What is it you experience?
I touched the wood, Rena, in 2004, and I feel something, and I want to continue to feel, because for me it was so important. I cannot understand what it was, and in this time too, I'm not understand something, and always, because now I speak with Rena, I go with her to in a different way, in the daily way. Sometimes to go to her, but always there is some mystery. I want to feel. This is a sort of choice. My question is, how can we feel? There is some practice. How can we educate to feel? Me and you, each other. How to feel the nature now? Very important question is about the nature. We cannot continue to do this with Mother Earth. We have to do something for Mother Earth to stop the CO2 and the pollution and the plastic and all of this. How to feel. So the practice is, and when you feel, if you love, you continue. If you don't like, you are free to go. This is very important, to free to go.
That's lovely. Thank you, Marco. Free to go, I think, is what I'll take away from what you said right now. It's a vital part of performance, I think.
Binoyji, Pradam, thank you, Chaklin. Marco, I just want to ask Gosha, because she also participated in your work 2-3 times. So as a conductor, you have a perception of this work. But as a participant, if she shares something, how she feels work with this process, if it's possible.
Okay, maybe Marco just correct me if I'm not right, because actually I was just participating, not maybe in a really workshops, but your daily training. Yeah, am I correct now? Okay, so just to correct, I was participating in Marco's daily training, so that for me was very, very good example actually how each performer and maybe creative person supposed to work regularly, I guess, because me too, I do yoga in my life, and this is very important part of developing myself, not just my physical body, but also meditation and working with mind. So this, what I really liked in that training was a connection of everything, because it was part of some yoga exercises, yoga in couples, meditation, singing mantras, movements, so plastic, as Marco said before, like a physical kind of exercises of flexibility of the body, also with the creativity part and interactions between, and also like improvisation, which in that improvisation you are free to use of all of that things we were working on. And I think it's very wonderful way of training for each person, because it's involving your whole body, your mind, also your voice, because we are also singing, and that's shows me like this whole treating a human being as a whole, I mean, like on all that levels all together. So I think this is because I'm working in institutional theaters, and this what I see, that's the missing part, because usually we have very limited time at institutional theater, and we need to finish the performance till the very harsh exact date of the premiere, and everything is focused and concentrated on that date, and till that date we have to be ready with the full, as you said, like the structure of the performance. Yeah, so we don't have time for exploration much of the body, of creativity, of voice like this or that. We are like very, very we are very concentrated on the aim, and under that topic, that aim, we have to work. So this what Marco proposed, as I was participating, is development of inner self, and also body, and also this freedom, which is not so much addicted kind of the result. Because as Marco said, what is interested for him, it's a ritual itself. And then it gives you a freedom just to be kind of yourself here and now, with and looking for that transformation, that another dimension of meeting between each other. And this is what often we lose in institutional theater, because we need to tell a story, yeah, because we need to be very communicative, because we also have very limited time, and we work for the last goal. Here, I think not the goal is aim is not really set it the way it's the goal actually. So this, I don't know, Marco, if I understand it correctly, but this is how I feel the trainings with you, as I see it. Maybe it's also partially an answer to Natalia's question about the difference between para-theater and theater, because this is what I think that it may be also the diverse that things that in theater you need to make a show, like a performance, which is kind of constructed and finished, and you show it. But in maybe this I think how I understand it, in this para-theater, it's more about the way, about creativity, about freedom, about improvisation. I think that's much more important. So often in institutional theater, we don't have place so much for that improvisation, because like we need to agree with some things. Of course, the most beautiful things are when you see already things on the stage, and then you feel this something in between actors, this something in between performers and audience, this something which is magic, which is mystery. Then it's also like a perfect thing. That's all is theater then. So yeah, sorry, because I was speaking too wide, maybe too many topics, but I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, the question about theater and para-theater, it's not a question of a performance or not a performance. For instance, now I'm looking for and working to some event, or I can speak with a word of Turner, ritual performance, but there is audience, there is participant. So I'm looking for this. The question is that para-theater, as I said before, for me, this came today after my practice. You can put this before or after. Ritual can be before theater, like a root can give life to the theater. It can be before, like an answer, a question, how to build a moment of community in our community that is so global and so big. This is my question. What can be relevant between us? In my experience, love is one of the most experience that we experience in our life, that touch us in the good way, in a not good way. Other question about, yes, para-theater is a moment of creativity, to investigate ourselves, the group, and the meeting. This is another keywords of the theater for me, and the para-theater can be linked. Why I have to meet my audience in a normal Italian theater? It's not a problem. But if I meet you, I want to share you something. Otherwise, there is no sense to speak. There is no sense to do nothing. Okay, we can go outside to drink a beer all the time. It's good. But what we have to say? Only to drink a beer? Okay. For me, it's not enough. It was in a period of my life that was not enough. In para-theater, this is maybe some not so precise. It's like spontaneous, but spontaneous is like, yes, we improvise, but improvise for me, the same meaning of improvise is creation. We can create like a child here now with the disorder. I can speak about disorder, but we have not so good link about these words. Like a chaos, maybe it's more when a child enter in the room and try to play with something, there is chaos. And after you have to say, okay, put order. And you put order. So the order you can put if you are studying the craft of performance, dance, sing, text, how to say a text. We can put order, but important is this disorder. So spontaneity is not disorder. It's not only something that is not a craft. There is no language. The example that I did is the same. If I speak teraz ja mówię po polsku. Nie mogę mówić bardzo moje emocje i moje myśli. In English it's better, ma se parlo italiano sarà meglio. If I speak my language, I can speak well about myself. So after there is the question, what is it myself? What I have to say? And if I am with you, what am I? What are you? So the technique is the language. If you want, we can approach the technique to express and to know much better about ourselves and to share with others. This is important. For me, the meeting is to share. Otherwise, there is no sense in some meeting. So, or now, for instance, I recognize it really more precise than before, because now I'm working more precise on the rhythm with this new friend that do tac, 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 tac all the time. And there is some moment and there is, I don't want to stay in this rhythm. There is a sort of chaos. I want to go outside this rhythm. But I feel now that I'm losing something, some language. Nobody can understand if I starting to do abara bara 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 bara. You can understand. So it's the question about the text. What is the text that can, or this poet gave shape to my feeling? Sometimes I meet you or a friend, or I am so much emotion. I'm not able to say something. I have only emotion. So the technique is something that gives you the possibility, gives me the possibility to express something that I feel. Otherwise, it's all inside me. And it's good this time too. There is a part of it to stay alone and to do nothing. And so, para-theater doesn't mean not technique. Doesn't mean only to, but the technique for technique, what is it? Nothing. I can speak the beautiful English, but if I have nothing to say, it's better to be in silence.
I think just this what you said, I just hope that you understand me properly, that I didn't mean that there is no technique or something, because that's what I said. There are like elements through which you can really explore yourself and your body, your mind, so on each level, and then you can create something really interesting, something which can be universal language between all participants to communicate. So this is something really important, what I mean. But what I wanted to say, like, my question was that maybe probably the aim, the goal is not the constructed and closed performance from the beginning till the end, but maybe the whole process of developing your inner self, developing your skills among other people all together during workshops. Yes. That was my question, and also was very beautiful something what you said just before, because I think you like really gave you explained what the art really is. It's not just about the theater, the art itself. And I completely agree with you that we as artists, we need some techniques, I mean some languages, even if it's poetry, theater, music, or whatever. We need some skills, kind of technical skills, to really express something which is reflecting our deep thoughts we want to share, and which is kind of understandable for other people's. That's why it's moving or something like this. So I think you really beautifully explained the whole main idea of art, I think, itself.
Now you touch the question about the technique, about the trust. To trust. This is
Mhm.
to trust. To trust. This faith in another way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Marco. So deep, and thank you, everyone. So
Thank you.
we try to do this kind of session, Marco, in maybe future also, because this one session is not enough for us to understand the communications and the sharing your views. Thank you, Marco, again.
Thank you, Supriyo.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you, Marcos sir and Supriyo
And
sir. Thank you.